Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm here in Brooklyn, New York, and I'm about to show you a really unique camper van that is homemade on Ram Promaster 3500. And here I am with Chad.
Hey, I'm Chad. This is my Ram Promaster 3500 that I self-converted into my crash pad. My name's Chad. I'm a flight attendant. And I live here full-time in my Ram Promaster 3500 extended van. I self-built this. As I mentioned, I am a flight attendant. In the flight attendant world, sometimes you live in a different state than where you work. And because of that, you need a place to live in that work state. So I decided to go with a van, which I call my crash pad. 3500 Ram Promaster 159 wheelbase, and it is the extended version, so it's actually got a little bit more space. So in this van, I've actually rebuilt it twice now. So I've had a few different floor plans and layouts. I started about 4 years ago with my first van build out, and I went super stealth. That was back before I really knew how it would be living inside the van, whether people would be knocking and telling you to leave the area or not. And I thought I should make it look like a work vehicle. Because of that, I ended up having a break-in just about 6 months ago inside where I park my van. And they've decided to smash out this back window here and come inside and see what they can steal. And they found out that it was just a place where someone lived and there wasn't tools inside. They had caused so much damage during that break-in, breaking cabinetry and different things, just looking for stuff, that I had to totally gut it and start fresh. And on this build, as you can see, nice light coming in everywhere, lots of windows. I tried to make this look more like a place where someone's living as opposed to a work vehicle. Starting at the back here is where I got my bed. It's a full-size bed. It does have 2 pop-outs on either side with sliding windows for each pop-out. This gives me a lot more headroom. I was sleeping with my feet right up against the wall previously, so I really did need that extra room. Each pop-out gives you about like 3 inches extra, so I got 6 more inches total on the bed, which just really helps out. It's much nicer to be able to stretch out. I did put in a RTX 2000 Dometic air conditioning unit, which is 12 volt. So it just runs off of my house batteries. As part of that, you know, I get a little bit worried about running the AC to try and cool down this entire van space. It is a large area that's just kind of open. So I added in a nice little curtain here. So this curtain cuts off the bed space from the rest of the living space. So during the summer in New York City, when it's 95, 100 degrees with 100% humidity, all the AC unit has to cool off is that little bed area. So that's mostly so I can sleep at night. So I added that curtain in right there. Speaking about running the power, I have 600 amp hours of lithium batteries underneath. I do run everything with the Victron elements, which is nice because that's something you can monitor remotely. They have a VRM software that you can log into from anywhere. All of that is powered by 400 watts of solar on top of the van. It used to be 500, and I had an accident on the freeway where one of my panels went flying off because I did not secure it properly. So make sure you secure those solar panels properly. Luckily, when it ripped off, it just fell in the median and didn't go anywhere near a vehicle, but you want to make sure you're securing those down pretty tightly. But even with that AC unit running, I could run it for 8 hours on that 600 amp hours of power if I really needed to. And then I have a alternator charger in front of the van, so when the van is actually running, it's also charging the house battery. So I can get power from not only solar, but also from the van's alternator. Moving up here, I put in a kitchen, which I split to have on either side. So galley style kitchen here. I got a 12 volt Dometic fridge here, which is a little bit smaller than most people use, but since I am like a 2 domicile, I don't really need that much food to go full time in here. Then I have my little Camp Chef stove and oven here. So with the flip up of the counter here, I have my stove top. I have a little oven. This all runs off of propane. I just have little propane tanks just right in the back side here, which I can access to refill if I need. Originally, when I had this same stove in my last van builds, and I had a large 20-pound tank, and I ended up never having to refill it and felt like it took up way more space than I needed, so I decided to just go with the little bottles.
And I love the design aspect, that the fact it's actually a countertop covering the stove.
Yeah.
Looks great.
Yeah, when I rebuilt the van out, I lost some counter space because I wanted to add in more seating area. And so I tried to figure out a way where I can get more counter space still while having that oven. So I decided to do the flip top, which I think worked out great because I'm not always using that stovetop, so why not use that counter space? I also added in a proper sink. Before, I just had a 6-gallon tank with a little 12-volt pump, no hot water. So now I went in with a full sink top here. Nice deep sink. I have running water, hot and cold, and I also have filtered water, so I can, no matter where I'm filling up from, I can drink from this water if I need to. This is all just running off of 12 volt as well. So I have a 12 volt pump. I have a 12 volt water heater, which is a point of use household heater that I replaced the 120 volt element and swapped it in with a 12 volt element. So it all just runs right off of my house batteries. With the kitchen here, I put in as many drawers as I possibly could. And to add extra to it, I added built-in lighting to all the drawers. So whenever you open something up, it lights up inside. So if it's dark out, you can always see what's inside. Moving up front here is where I have my bench and kind of my dinette area. I really wanted to do a 2-seater bench because not just to add extra people inside, but it's really nice when you can rest your back up against the wall and just lounge your feet out. My previous van builds always just had just one single seat, and while that's okay when you're working on your laptop or doing something like that, it just really adds to your comfort when you can just have multiple ways to lay out and lounge inside.
And is your dinette converting to any single bed?
It does, yeah. Yeah, so if you look on the back here, there's another bracket down below that I put in, and then this leg that I have right here actually swaps out for a shorter leg. So it does reach the same height as the bench. This back cushion goes on top of the table here. And I do have 2 swivel seats up front, so that driver's seat will swivel all the way around and give you that leg room to sleep head to toe this way. So that way I could have a guest over if ever. I have 6 opening cabinets over the kitchen area, so I can do all of my food and all of my plates. And then across on the opposite side, I have 4 more, which are just a little bit larger cabinets. And this is so I can do, like I have a microwave, I have all my toiletries, and then this is for clothing back here. So I can store all my clothing.
And the main question everybody always asks, you know, in van life, it's something cliche. Where's your bathroom? Do you have a bathroom?
Yeah. Originally, with my first van builds, I didn't do a bathroom. I thought I would just be able to find spaces publicly, which I always was able to, and that's still generally how I use the bathroom. But you never know, there may be an emergency. So this time I did add a nicer toilet, which is right underneath my bench seating here.
Oh, wow.
And it pulls out, and this is called a dry flush toilet. So I need no black tank for this. So the way this works is when you go inside, there's a powered by 12 volt battery, push a little button, and this actually twists up to seal whatever is inside completely, so you get no smell from it. And then after a couple flushes, you just take the cartridge out, it's in a little trash bag, and you throw it away, pop in a new cartridge.
Very cool. And that doesn't require any ventilation or anything like that, right?
No, it's supposed to be pretty odorless, so you don't really need ventilation to pull the odors out like you would some of the churning, composting style toilets.
Cool. Right above the cockpit, you'll have a pizza oven storage space.
yeah, large storage space. The over cab, which is original for the van. So I just store some extra linen and stuff like that up there.
And I know that you also added a lot of security features like cameras all around,
Yes.
correct? Indoors, outdoors.
Yeah,
I see one of them right here.
Yeah, so I have one internal camera, which looks towards the back of the van and just allows me to check the living space, make sure nothing's out of place in there. They're all motion censored. They all have audio recording, and you can also speak through them. There's speakers on them. I put some on the outside, so there's 4 on the outside to see each side of the van. The van has its own internet source, so it's constantly able to be monitored.
Who is your internet source? Like, how do you do it? Like,
That's a great question. One of the things a lot of people try and figure out what's the best way to do it, and I decided to go with just a T-Mobile hotspot. So it's just a 5G cellular hotspot that I have. Works great, yeah. I mean, there's, you know, depending on where you are, where you get good cell coverage or not, it could be a little slower. You know, in the city here, New York City, it's perfect. I added a few more security elements, like you can see this metal bar I have right here, and there's actually a padlock on this bar. So this is removable, so if I don't want to have to look at a metal bar all day, I can unlock that, slide it out, but that just makes it to where if someone decided to break in through this window, they can't actually squeeze through it very well.
I see also another safety feature here.
Yes.
This door-to-door, I guess.
Sliding latch lock.
Really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so those are kind of designed for commercial vehicle usage, to slide across like the back door, the sliding door, to kind of just lock it from the exterior, just add another thing, which I also have internal locks. So this is a nice sliding latch bolt that will slide into there to stop the slider door from opening. I have one on the back doors as well. I've also put motion sensors and vibration sensors on all the doors. There's opening sensors, magnetic sensors to tell whether the door is open or not. Integrated all of those security features into one computer system, which I actually have a remote panel here for. So on this, I can control my van, I can monitor my van, I can check all the cameras out. You can even see this sliding door is indicating open on there. By hitting on any of these buttons, it'll turn lights on, and all of this just integrates to create a security system for the van, kind of like what you would get at home.
Because I think that tablet can go with you anywhere. So.
Yeah, exactly. I can move it to the bed if I want to control the lights, or over in the seating area where I can't reach the outlets. Control the lights from there. You can control the lights from phone. You can monitor any of this from anywhere in the world.
Also a lagoon table right here.
Yeah. Adding an extra table for that passenger side swivel, since it's had to be cut down to be able to allow a pass-through to get to that driver's seat. Just add an extra counter space up there.
So you built all this by yourself?
Yes.
How long did it take you?
This rebuild took about 4 months to do. Yeah.
4 months.
4 months, and that's with working full-time too.
And for viewers that are willing to start van life, how much do you think should one look at a budget, like as a starting budget?
That's a great question.
Since you just built it.
I spent a little more on this build because I really wanted to add those extra features and not go with some cheaper material, which I did in my previous builds. But for a first-time builder, because I feel everyone's going to rebuild, remodel their van, try something different, because the first time you build it out, you're not going to like what you do. You're going to live in it, and you're going to realize this was a great idea on paper, but it doesn't work in the real life. So I would say for a van, you're looking to spend around $15,000 to $25,000, depending on what van you can get. And then for the build out, for the first time build, you can spend, I think, as low as $5,000 and plan to all the way up to $15,000 if you want to spend, go with the nicer quality material and equipment. And higher end things like the dry flushing toilets or AC units, those can run up that bill pretty high.
As a three-time building a van lifer, what are your recommendations to those who are willing to jump into the van life?
I think you got to think about making it simple. Don't do too crazy of things. I think those raising bed platforms and all that type of stuff kind of add those cool features, but it could be a little more complicated. And try and create fixed living elements, such as having a fixed dinette system. Not something that if this was my bed and my dinette, I'd have to convert it every single day. Murphy bed style things. You know, you'd have to clean up your space to be able to put your bed down and clean your bed up to be able to put it back up. So having your fixed areas just really adds to comfort for your home, because now I can easily go and just jump in my bed and lounge out and then come back over to my dinette and lounge out. Just having those fixed spaces just makes it a lot easier for you.
Our viewers, where can they follow your adventures? I know you're on Instagram.
Yeah, I am on Instagram. I love to post tips and advice and things, but I'm Van Life Crash Pad on Instagram and TikTok.
Thank you so much for this amazing. I've been following your Instagram for a long time, and I watched the build stories about this particular model now.
Yeah.
And I had to share it with my viewers because you did a phenomenal job.
Thank
This
you.
doesn't look like DIY, for sure. It looks phenomenal. Every detail, every design aspect has been very well thought of. So, and great execution. Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you. Thanks for coming by. Hope to see you again soon.
See ya.